Some feelings, no matter how hard you try to bury them, will surface eventually, demanding to be acknowledged. Mark was more than a cousin to me. He was a lifelong companion, someone I could trust deeply. Over time, I noticed a change in how I saw him, a pull I couldn't quite explain but could no longer ignore. He had always been a safe place, yet now, each encounter revealed emotions beyond simple friendship. Growing up, Mark was my closest ally, always there to lean on. Yet, one day, I found myself captivated by his gaze, feeling something altogether new. I tried to tell myself it was just a fleeting thought, a figment of curiosity, but this new closeness had rooted itself in my mind. My heartbeat quickened, and denying this attraction became nearly impossible. The day I saw a similar spark in Mark's eyes, everything changed. The unspoken connection between us grew palpable, something we both sensed but dared not speak of. Each look we shared felt as if it carried secrets, revealing emotions we both wrestled to keep hidden. This attraction was unsettling yet exhilarating, drawing me closer while tearing down walls I had carefully built. The attraction felt wrong, yet each moment with Mark grew harder to resist. A voice in my mind reminded me of the boundaries we shared, boundaries that I should uphold. But his presence filled a void I didn't even know existed. The fight between my rational mind and my heart grew fierce, each pulling me in opposite directions, leaving me more conflicted than ever. One evening, after everyone else had left, Mark and I were left alone. The silence enveloped us, amplifying the intensity in the air. Mark came closer, and I felt an inexplicable warmth, a comfort mixed with thrill. Our quiet closeness seemed to transcend the confines of family bonds. It was as if all pretense had vanished, leaving just us and the heavy attraction between us. Mark gently placed his hand on my shoulder, and the sensation was electric, breaking every barrier I'd ever known. His touch sent waves through me, igniting something deep within. In that moment, I felt as if the world had disappeared, and it was just the two of us. Logic faded, and my emotions surged, overpowering any sense of restraint. I wanted nothing more than to linger in that feeling. "I need to tell you something," I whispered, struggling with words. His eyes met mine with understanding, as if he knew the weight of my confession. These feelings, they feel so wrong, yet so inevitable. His response was simple. Sometimes, emotions defy logic. His words shattered the last of my resistance, allowing me to finally embrace what I felt. All caution faded as we sat there, connected in silence. Holding Mark's hand, I felt a surge of emotions beyond words, a pull so intense that it seemed to erase the past, present, and future. His presence filled a long-lost part of me, a part I hadn't even known was missing. The attraction was undeniable, binding me to him in ways I hadn't thought possible. This feeling was like nothing else, each second spent with him deepening the connection. Despite the overwhelming draw, I constantly reminded myself of the limits between us. Yet, every moment near him tore down the walls I'd built. My attraction grew, a silent flame fueled by every shared glance. Being near him brought both peace and turmoil, making me realize that denying my emotions would be impossible. This tug-of-war within me showed no sign of stopping. As Mark moved even closer, the world around us vanished entirely, and my heartbeat was the only sound I could hear. I wanted to stay in this moment, to feel what my heart had craved for so long. This attraction was unlike anything I'd felt before, like finding something irreplaceable. For the first time, I understood what it meant to be drawn to someone completely, without any barriers. In that quiet, suspended time, all my concerns melted away. There were no restrictions, no boundaries, only the warmth of his presence. Feeling his closeness, I felt as though I'd discovered a part of myself long hidden. For once, the world felt perfectly aligned, filled only with a sense of belonging. This forbidden closeness brought a peace I had never known, and I wanted to stay in it forever. When morning arrived, the reality of what had transpired weighed heavily on me. The previous night had given me a deep sense of happiness, yet it also brought the burden of secrecy. The intimacy we'd shared had left a lasting impression, a mark I couldn't ignore. What we shared felt both liberating and confining, and I knew I'd carry this feeling with me. I realized that this experience would remain a lifelong secret, something we would never share with anyone else. What we'd shared was too delicate, too profound to expose. It would live on as a memory, a private chapter forever locked away. Though unspoken, the impact of the night stayed with me, a constant reminder of the bond we'd formed. The feelings this experience left within me would never fade. Mark had created a space in my heart that I hadn't known was there, an indelible mark that time couldn't erase. What we shared would live on in my memory, a complex mix of joy and sadness, a testament to the depth of human connection. The imprint of those moments would stay with me forever. In the aftermath, I wondered how these emotions would shape my future. I knew that I would always carry these memories of Mark, that our closeness would remain a quiet part of my story. Perhaps time would allow me to make peace with the experience, but I knew it would forever influence the way I loved and connected with others. As the story came to a close, I felt a deep emptiness. Each moment we shared replayed in my mind, bringing both peace and regret. This experience reminded me of how powerful emotions can be and how deeply they shape us. Knowing these moments with Mark could never happen again made them even more precious. My feelings for Mark went beyond simple attraction. The security I felt around him filled an emptiness I didn't know existed. But now, knowing this bond was forbidden, I felt the weight of my emotions even more. Reflecting on these moments brings both guilt and happiness, leaving a lasting impact. This experience taught me that emotions can be complex and hard to control. The feelings I had with Mark made me feel free, but that freedom came at a cost. Our bond was unique, and accepting that truth gives me a sense of relief, though it also stirs inner conflict. With each day, what we shared lingers in my mind, a memory that brings both strength and weight. While I carry these feelings as a secret, they make me feel both stronger and more burdened. This hidden bond continues to affect me deeply. My bond with Mark will leave an unforgettable mark on me. These moments carry both joy and sorrow, reminding me of life's complexities. I move forward, holding on to the bittersweet ache of this story, knowing that these experiences will always stay with me as a quiet reminder of the depth of emotion.